Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, first, I thank you tragically for the pictures of those who died. I knew the families of one of them. So I agree that it is in their honor that we come here to try and prevent this from happening again. I'll also point out that one of the widows of one of those who died opposed the moratorium, saying that several people on her house, on her street, depended upon the income from working on those rigs in order to support their family. So clearly there's a balance here. How do we achieve safety but not kill an industry with 1,000 cuts, an industry which is so important to the livelihood of so many? So that said, Mr. Salerno, several questions, frankly based off of Mr. Melito's testimony. Because, again, my technical expertise is not in this area, but common sense sometimes applies. He points out that your requirement of 20 new receptacles, which would involve shuttle valves, hosings, tubings, et cetera, for the ROVs to attach to, is in of itself a recipe for potential leaks and malfunctions. That makes sense. I'm a physician. I know that when you have equipment, the more Rube Goldberg-ish it is, the more likely it fails. Now, there's 20 new receptacles. Do you disagree that that would create more possibility for leaks, et cetera?
We don't believe it would increase the risk, but, Senator, we have received, again, a great volume of technical feedback from the industry, which we are now considering.
Intuitively, though, the more openings you have to a system, the more points of vulnerability you have. I mean, I think that's a general, a sieve is more likely to leak than something which has only one opening. 20 more receptacles seems to make it more like a sieve than it does something with only one opening. Is that not true?
It's also true, sir, that if you needed an ROV to actuate functions on the BOP and you didn't have the means to do that, you incorporate risk in that fashion as well.
Now, it's implied in the testimony that there's 23 existing panels, I presume, 23 places for ROVs to currently attach. But this would be in addition to those in which the ROV can currently attach?
I'd have to check.
Mr. Melito, is that in addition to?
Yes, the proposal will require 20 additional receptacles.
Additional. So there is places now for the ROVs to attach, but there's 23 more, again, 23 more potential points of failure. Now, again, there's going to be smarter people than me that figure that out. Secondly, the disassembling of the BOP every 5 years. That in itself seems to be a point of hazard. In medicine, it is an axiom, if you do procedures, ultimately you'll have an accident. This is a procedure, and it introduces the possibility for human error every 5 years in the disassembling and the reassembling. Again, that's intuitive, and that's based upon real-life experience, but tell me why you apparently disagree with that.
Well, the 5-year interval was actually based on an API standard, the API standard 53, so that's where the 5 years comes from.
Now, Mr. Melito, you raised that as an objection in your testimony. How would you respond to that?
Yeah, our concern is that over the course of 5 years, the maintenance occurs through different components of the blowout preventer. So by pulling the whole BOP out of service for that length of time was not justified given the way that the industry operationally maintains, inspects.
So API's feeling is that you could do it piecemeal and accomplish the same goals without the need to completely deconstruct.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. When you piecemeal, do you eventually piece the whole meal?
Absolutely. The 5-year requirement means that you've got to get through the whole BOP over that 5-year period.
And why is that not adequate? I'm sorry. Why is that not adequate, Mr. Salerno?
Well, Senator, we have received a lot of comment on that, and those are comments we are considering.
Okay, then let me also ask, and I think this is really key. You mentioned in that Chevron explosion, the Walters, the Walter Oil and Gas, that there was a kick that was not recognized. In the Macondo, there was a kick which was not recognized. That is all human error. And it requires situational awareness. Melito's testimony suggests that the rule shifts responsibility for operational decisions away from the rig to those who are not on site, they are remote. But by doing this, you transfer authority from those who do not have the situational awareness to those who might be far away, with inevitably some lag time in communication and perhaps some oh my gosh, I got to go to the bathroom, I'll be right back, sort of incidents if they're in Houston. So that said, again, intuitively, it seems like you would want authority to rest with those with situational awareness, those who are on site, those who can administer the CPR when the person goes down, not, wait a second, can you tell me if I should do mouth to mouth? I'll get on it as soon as you let me know. Thoughts?
Yeah, the rule does not shift command and control authority from the rig to shore. It addresses capability so that there'll be a second set of eyes so that you can have extra experts on shore, provide diagnostic expertise to assist in assessing an anomaly. The decision as to where command and control resides is with the company. So we talk about capability, not where the command and control resides. So people have interpreted it that way. It's an incorrect interpretation.
My time is over. I yield back. Thank you.